Good morning. This is the Morning Digest, Elevate Television, Advancing Kingdom Lifestyle. And today we are gathered again to discuss the youth agenda and the opportunities available. And we will be looking at the opportunities available in websites. Are they just, there to be seen? Are they there to be harnessed? Are there opportunities on the websites? And what can we do to build more and to gain more from websites? And with me today is a great guest. But before we get to our guest, I want to request you, wherever you are, pick the link right now on, it's already there on Facebook. Pick the link and immediately you can share it on all your networks. Let's share, let's interact, and let's be able to be together. On Elevate Television, we want to welcome you that you're watching with us. But remember, the link is also online. You can send it to your neighbors, send it to your friends and into your networks, and on Facebook and on YouTube. And let's comment, let's interact. And today's guest is willing to answer all your questions you have about websites. Some of you have been looking for opportunities to build websites. Some of us don't know why we should build them. Some of us have websites and we don't know how to make them better. Today is the day for you to enjoy, to come and get more on websites. With me today is a man and a friend, Richard. Karibu sana Elevate.
Wow.
This is Elevate.
This is Elevate TV. Yes, I thank God for this opportunity. My name is Richardson. I'm born again and Christ is Lord. So I'm here basically to speak more concerning websites. I'm the director, Diplomat Group Incorporation, and also Diplomat Innovative Ventures Limited. The two companies really allows offering ICT solutions, but precisely for today, we're basically focusing on websites.
Wow.
Also.
So you get him, he's quite ready. Richard, I want to begin it right and out. There's a lot of opportunities in the World Wide Web, the WWW, you know?
Yes.
And websites, we look at websites and they look at this big thing out there, unachievable. And I mean, how easy is it to get at a website?
Well, things have changed. Then before, it seems very complicated, probably to have a website. Well, I can say it is as well not very easy as well, but as long as it's well to have one, as a person who wants to own one, or as a developer you want to do one, then it is possible, because initially things used to run throughout hand coding, where you have to learn codes, you have to do things, you have to create both front end, back end, you have to mind how the website appears on small devices like a smartphone or a phone, a tablet and a desktop. But as far as it is now, owning a website it's not a complicated thing, because these all what is needed. And tools have been availed, technology has also shifted, people have embraced easy things.
Let me ask
to achieve the same.
With websites, because we're going to talk a lot about websites.
Yes,
today is a website day.
Awesome.
Anyone without a website today, you will feel very,
out of place.
out of place. Just like not having a phone, eh?
Yes.
And the beauty is achievable.
Yes.
And maybe before you go into those hard, the hard language,
Yes.
what is the importance of a website? Just try to, some people don't see the importance of a website.
Yes.
What is the importance of a website?
If I can answer that question, and probably there's a viewer who is viewing us this morning, and you are there, you are running a company, a brand or a certain brand name, an organization, a church, maybe an NGO, name them, one kind of a thing. And you are not anywhere near to own a website, then you must be losing it so much. And because today I want to be very precise and with the language that people can try to understand without being very complicated with the language.
Yes.
If I can answer you, the first question, rather the first answer, having a website is a requirement because your audience expect you should have it. Right now, even if we can put ourselves in the current moment, if there is something that COVID-19 has pushed people into, it is online presence. And you have seen so many people have relied a lot on having a website. If I can give you my own simple example, we had an office. And when COVID came on board, we could not continue with the physical meeting here and there. And we had to embrace online presence. So, number one, the people who are reaching out onto us expect us, we should have a way of booking appointment, requesting for quotes, having those automation where people can pay online without issues. Today you make payment from our side, you don't need to start calling us to ask us for a receipt. Those automations are already there. So your client already expect you should have a website. Number two is credibility. One of the key things that happens, if today you are called by someone who is a strange person to you, a number that you don't have, the next step, if you are very rational in our today life, you usually move to Truecaller to see who is this. Now I want to bring to your attention that the same thing happens, that if today I receive a mail saying ABCD, that we are inviting you to ABCD to work with us, the next step I usually move is this organization credible? Does it exist?
We use the word legit nowadays.
Is it, exactly, is it legit, you know? So website will give you that legitimacy of the organization. Number three is, of course, to increase links. Because, for example, if today you're doing an e-commerce site where you're selling products and services, one way by which you can multiply your revenue and how people are reaching out to you to inquire about the same is, of course, the website. WhatsApp is trying to incorporate an aspect of online selling, but it cannot overdo as it is now the presence of a website. Number four, of course, right now, when you have a website, you display information about the company, you display contact information, you display your emails, you display your location. It saves your team customer support issues. Instead of your team concentrating on growing the company, you'll find when you don't have a website, they concentrate on receiving and answering calls. Where are you located? What is your phone? What is the email for the customer support? I bought this, it is not working. How do I return?
Actually, you know, the website is basically the business, but in a platform.
Exactly. Precisely, we say a website is your business on online platform. It is actually the image of your business. And I may fail not to mention the aspect that the website also helps you to basically be able to control your brand. You know, there are some situations where people can speak something. Of course, right now in Kenya, Kenyans have really embraced the aspect of social media.
It's true.
And you see people speaking all manner of things concerning certain brands. And you, as the owner of the business or organization, you stand a better chance of now communicating the right information regarding your brand. Otherwise, without a website, we'll still move with the wave that your brand is not working. It's unfortunate that people are still losing business because other people have tarnished their brands because they don't have a website.
At the end of the day, we may not stop that because there are people who are paid to tarnish.
Of course.
They are ninjas. You've said something very key. This is the image of your company. Online. What would you say? Actually, to the world, actually. What would you say? Have websites been abused to give a false information or a false image of a false company? You know, because we can also not avoid the cyber crime. Have it been misused also? Because everything good must go through abuse.
That is a good question. And to be precise, there are a variety of types of websites. Websites are categorized into two. The first one is static website, and the other one is dynamic website. Now, under dynamic websites category, we have other lots of categories or types in it. And one of them is a type of website that we call them malware or ransomware. Malware or ransomware. These are websites strategically done, targeting people who can be vulnerable. And what happens is that, assuming today I'm running a website, one of the elements that every website owner should ensure that it is there in their server is something we call SSL. SSL is what ensures security of your website. So assuming today I'm running a website, my website is not very secure. So what happens is that if I try to access a website that is doing something called phishing, that is trying to retrieve that information from you,
Data,
rather it also can incorporate a ransomware or a malware. So what happens is that now your brand name can become compromised because it may be used to send spam emails to people. Let me bring this home. One of my clients in New York, what happens with their website, they happen to have been somehow hacked. And so what happens is that the hacker used their server to send fake emails to people. And so what happens is that you as a client, when you receive an email from my organization, which it is not rigid, it's not coming, it's not my own initiative, or rather my own, in my control, you end up now trying to get convinced that we change the management, the company changed the management, the company changed the banking details, the company changed this. And now when you happen to be scammed or rather conned, what happens is that you brand the whole of my organization as a bad one. You see, I have suffered as the owner of the business, victim, because I owned a website, which I somehow didn't take some precaution that needs to be taken. So to answer your question, yes, websites have been used to tarnish companies' image, but more so when people who owns those websites have overlooked some things that should be in place, which we shall mention in a few.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking if, because at the end of the day, you see what we call the con game, or you know, criminals are all over. And so the best thing is also to brand themselves, create an organization that does not exist, and use it to, you know, to do business that is illegal. Then later they shut them down, because I've seen several, you know, after they are flagged up, they achieve what they wanted, they shut down and you can't get them. And because now they don't have a physical address, all this was made up. What is the security of a person in such a case?
In such a case, I concur with you, first of all, that there has been that loop where if today I want to own a website, it's just 3 steps. I buy a domain name, I host it, I create my website. Those are the 3 steps that are required. However, you see, there is no control, first of all, as I register the domain name and host it and create my website. There's no one who is checking whatever I've really presented to the world. Is it legit? And so people have fallen in trap of such situation where I think we were seeing the other day an organization which was calling itself Amazon Pesa, something like that, where people got scammed money and all those kind of things. And after the owner of that project achieved their mission and the story went viral, they pulled down the app, they pulled down the website. So your question was, what is the security if I fall into such trap? Number one, we always encourage people, deal with legit business people that you can verify their legitimacy.
Or let's put it this way, maybe this would help. Because we are simply helping someone.
We are helping someone.
How do I recognize a legitimate website?
How do you recognize
a legitimate website so that I can tell this one is a legitimate business? So that even if somebody is scammed, they have done their due diligence.
Of course, they can fail to, or rather we can lack that aspect where there's a database or a portal where you can query a legit business in terms of domain name. For example, if today I have a car or that I'm suspecting blah, 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 and I want to query who is the owner of the car. There's a portal I know I'll move to this place, query. If it's about business, whether it's registered or not, I know there's a way of seeking to know who is the owner of the information or directors and the like, what they do. But now when it comes to the website, number one, we don't have a specific authority that controls or rather make it mandatory for people who intend to have a website to submit certain documents to show that they are legit. They are only a small portion of that requirement. For example, if today you want to register a domain that says, my name is Richardson, if I say richardson.go.ke, that go.ke is controlled by the government.
Yes.
And so for me to register such, I need to submit certain documents to prove that this is a government agency, parastate or organization. Same way with .ac.ke, that is a domain extension reserved for academic institution like a school, university and the likes. But now if I want to register .com or .org or .whatever, there is no certain requirement that requires me to submit certain document to approve, to prove, or rather to give the other person my credibility that I'm actually registered, I'm legit. So to answer your question, there can be that loop where you cannot really know is this domain name legit or not. Now, coming to the content of the website, if you're a very rational person, you can also try to now employ critical thinking, because website that tries to plead with you so much, you know, to sweeten their talk so much. They also, you know, they also say when the deal is too good, you shouldn't think twice. Yes. Because I think if today I'm running a website, even if I'm doing some offers, they shouldn't be legal, you know. They shouldn't be legal. Yeah. So that if this phone, I know the cost of this phone that I'm selling, it is basically ranging from 20,000 to 30,000. It will be foolish of me to imagine that this phone can cost 2,000. Yes. So in the website, when you're saying, buy this phone at this amount of money and pay, and then you receive your item. So of course, is analyzing the content of the website. Number two is also looking at reviews. Yeah. Nowadays, platforms like Google and Trustpilot and any other platform that gives credibility of an organization based on reviews, the information are there. So you can query, for example, from Google reviews, see what are people saying about it. You know, you can also query from a trust-based organization that tries to give reviews. For example, Trustpilot is one of the key platforms where you can query what are the reviews for certain organization for a company. Also, social media platforms helps a lot for you to see if today I'm saying my organization is ABCD, I'm doing this and this and this. You have come to my website and I'm seeing what I'm doing. And you want to know, am I legit or not legit? Of course, social media platforms also helps for you to see and see basically what have I been posting. What are people saying about what I do? Wow. Yes, so you can Richard, try to employ that area.
Because we don't have a lot of time and we have a lot to talk about, we have to sift. We have to sift what to say. Okay. How, okay, somebody's out there maybe thinking, this is, why should every business, and when I say every business, do you think every business should have a website?
Actually, you should frame it the other way. It shouldn't be like a question. It should actually be, rather, if it has to be a question, you can sound it like, why you as the owner of the business do not have a website?
That's how serious it is.
It is like serious. That is how serious it is. Because right now, from all sort of industry, be it a ministry that is charged, an SME of whatever category, you cannot overlook the power of our website. And right now, there's millions of people who have a blessed online presence. And
it's so serious.
It is so serious that people have a blessed the power of
online presence.
The
other day I was looking at a certain supermarket, I will not mention.
Yes.
And I talked to someone.
Yes.
Supermarkets, as much as you have the walk-ins,
yes,
the normal walk-in shopping, culture we have.
Yes.
I tell you, in Kenya, Kenya moves very fast.
Yes.
Supermarkets are doing more online sales than walk-ins.
Exactly.
And actually, like if you go to some of the major ones, they even have dedicated tills for that.
Online
and someone was telling me they begin as early as the time they open.
Yes.
To the time they close.
Yes.
They are still selling online.
And it is such a requirement because things have really shifted. Initially, there are things that will deter you from owning a website. If you're having a business, number one was the cost. You mind, hey, the cost could be too high. And so you hesitate to have one because you will not wish to commit too much. Number two was about technicality, that initially you needed to know how to update your website. So you needed to know the coding skills. Things have shifted. Number three is that you also needed a team that can help you in understanding the whole scenario. Of course, number four was fearing about security of your website, and there are people who also consider that their information is private. They will not want people to know who are the directors of the company and the likes. But things have shifted because if you look from 2014, for example, there came something called OnePress. OnePress is a CMS, content management system.
Yes.
And that one has really shifted how things work, because you don't need coding skills to achieve a website.
Yes.
Number two, that also isn't the cost of owning one, because you don't need, first of all, to go to class. You don't need a lot of coding skills, a lot of things, though you may still need a situation where you need to configure things to suit your brand. But the fact that right now we're having what we call a CMS, it has made owning a website easier.
Management
system.
Yes.
And so you as a person, now if you want to upscale where you are, you know, every business that is rational should work on making progress. So if you want to move the next step, then there shouldn't be no any good reason why you not want to invest on online presence, because it communicates vast of lot of things. Because right now, when I'm here, someone can inquire about something, and I respond. He is talking to me from the website, but that message is coming to me on my SMS, and I can just respond.
Yes.
And what happens, assuming that person tries to reach me, they cannot get me. They try to call me, they cannot. Email is not responded to. They feel frustrated.
Yes.
But when you have set automations, now customer feels like, I have received my feedback that I was expecting.
Exactly.
So as a person, it is actually being unjust to yourself for not owning.
You're actually denying yourself the opportunities that are there.
Awesome.
Wow. So, my friends, I think by the end of this, you must come up with a way to come up with a website. Hata kama we ni mechanic, website ni muhimu. You know, the other day I was looking for something. And you know, again, one of the, for me, just to say, one of the benefits, there's, I was looking for something, and I got very many quotes from different people.
Yes.
And I just decided, no, why don't I look for this thing?
Yes.
I looked for it online, got a contact, called a guy. I got it at a very good price. So I'm going to check it today. I'm going to see if it's true.
Yes, and again, you should analyze them to know which one is legit and which is not.
Of course, you know, I know what I'm looking for, so I know what legit looks like.
Yes, because of course there are third parties in between. You're looking for a quotation. You have reached out to me. Myself, I don't do what you're seeking for, but I know someone who else who can do that. So I source from them. They send me, I send you.
But you see, the other thing is this, my friend. I think that is still a legit business.
It is legit, but what happens?
It
you
is
get inconvenience. We will come to that. I will mention.
Yes,
why.
because it's we are looking at opportunities in the websites,
okay.
and so we are going to be looking at opportunities where where we find we have people in the house.
Yes.
Who say hakuna kazi.
Hakuna kazi.
I don't believe that thing. I do not believe that statement.
In fact, if you allow me, I can just speak to two categories of people. The first one is someone...
I want you to do this before. We are going for a break.
Yes.
Look at that camera and speak to that category.
That category of two people is this kind of people. Someone who is there, who is desiring, how can you do a website to earn a living? Number two category of people is people who wants to own a website and they are wondering where do they begin.
Yes.
Now, you as a person who is, maybe you just finished your school, or you're still in school and you want to make a living out of the whole scenario of websites. Number one, you need to look for a hosting company that gives commission. If today you are a client and you're seeking to have a website, the first thing you will need is me to sign up for you a domain name and a hosting. It could cost maybe 5,000. If you sign up with a hosting company that gives commission, you pay them 5,000. Me as a person, I will receive 2,000. So they receive 3. Me as the developer will receive 2.
Hold that thought. We are going to come back there. We are going for a break.
Awesome.
Because one of the things you must open for each and everybody here is the way to make money from websites.
Awesome.
Because it is there. You have someone getting you from Thika.
Yes.
She's saying, getting you loud and clear, Richard and Moses from Thika municipality. So this Thika resident must come up with a website. Even if it is for mother care or they must cover something. Samuel Mamati says a great mind there. Respect.
Awesome.
So we have some people online, so let's keep this conversation. We're going for a break. And as we go for a break, I want you to structure your questions. If you have a question, Richard is ready. You find the man is full. We have to stop him all the time. The man is full of information. Let him not go with all that information. Let him give it to you. Let anything you have concerning websites, ask it, and he will answer. See you after the break. it was not called the World Wide Web for nothing. It had a purpose because at the click of a button, you can be global in whatever you do, right from your village, right from your estate, right from your little house if you think it's little. But let me tell you what the opportunities at the websites and the internet, what it has opened to us, it has made us global citizens. And that is an opportunity for each and every one of us to harness. And Richard is here. You know, he was talking, Richard, you were talking about two categories of people. There are those people who are asking how to get a website.
Yeah, there are people who are desiring to have a website, or they could be having a website and they are wondering, how can I make living out of it? Because something that you're investing your money in then should make a living for you. Number two category of people is developers, of course.
Yeah.
So up to upscale. Of course, they are receiving their income through designing and all that, but how can you upscale that? So if I can speak to people who already own websites, and they also could be aspiring to have a website, and you don't have to be like you are in a very formal type of business. There are people who are just doing the informal part of business, or that which is passionate in you. You know, your talents, that which you talented in. You can make a living out of it. Number one, assuming I own a website, or I intend to have one, how can I make a living out of it? Number one is, of course, look for what can I sell online. If today I'm more talented in giving people's advice. For example, if today what I'm speaking, and I want to make a living out of the skill that I've invested in, I can sell courses online. All what I need to do is come up with the content, could be in terms of writing or video or something like that, or even PowerPoints.
Yes.
And I sell courses online. They don't have to be expensive. They can be as cheap as even 1,000 shillings. And we find people signing up. Number two, you can also sell your items online. Items, I mean, you can be in the market and you're selling cabbages. And one of the key things that I've realized is that people also want their convenience. That I'm in the house, my day has been busy, I didn't manage to buy ABCD. I can just log into a website, place an order, they be brought to me. So if today you're looking to that kind of a venture, then you're good to go. Number three, you can look and see what opportunity lies there. For example, people who are residing in estates, every household is using a gas, right? For example. And you can just ask yourself, I have a gas station there, another one there. People are struggling to get to know how much is the gas, where can I buy. You as a person, come up with a website and just give it whatever name you want to give it. Go speak to those vendors who are selling the gases and tell them, I have a listing website where you can list gases you're selling and the price. ABC, correct 10 vendors. Tell them to get there, you have to pay me 200 shillings. For every person that you send gas to, 100 is mine. They will just be comfortable. That is what Jumia is doing. Vendors are selling products, posting there is free. But for every dispatch that is done or any sale that is done, certain commission belongs to Jumia as a company. And so a blessing search will make you as a person who is there saying there is no job, earn a living. Number three, of course, is a way in which you can make sure that access to content is not free. For example, people every day are looking for solutions for things. Today you are formatting your computer. You are looking for data recovery means. Of course, you find articles that are misleading. You can come up with an article that is accurate and giving correct information. But make sure for you to access that information, pay me something. So what you call drip content, I mean you content dripping. You remit access to content for people who are subscribed to it. So subscribe, you can pay 1,000 shillings, or 500 shillings, or one of maybe 200 shillings. So there are a whole lot of opportunities. Now, the other kind of people is people who are developers. Of course, they are earning out of making their living through designing. But if you can optimize on what you're doing, for example, you cannot overlook the power of affiliates. So if today you want, I do for you a website, the first thing you ask me is domain name. The next thing you ask me is hosting. When I do that for you, well, to you it appears it is that amount because it is written on the hosting company side. But precisely, me as a developer, I have an affiliate with the hosting company.
Yes.
For every sign up I do, 40% belongs to me. So, for example, if I can just mention myself, for the last 11 years, I've been doing this work. And so, of course, I've tried like 5, 6 hosting companies. And all of them, none of them has failed to give me over 50,000 annually. So basically, out of those affiliates, and they come when I'm sleeping, they don't have to even keep following what is happening there. So there's a lot of whole opportunity that's lying there, but people probably foresee it. You know, they say work is disguised as like a lot of, I mean, success could be disguised as like in a lot of work.
Yes.
So precisely all we need to do is embrace the opportunities that are out there, see beyond, because there's a lot that can be tapped into it.
I think I have to stop you there and ask you this question, because you know, the opportunities that are massive.
Yes.
They are massive. How do we, and you know, just to mention, even like the churches took over, you know, took up the website issue. Now today, people have streamed services. They're able to even talk to the ministry without a lot of, you know, visiting. What about the kind of person who is saying, I have a website, yes, but I don't know what to do with it. Is there an opportunity in the management of a website?
Well, that's a good question. If I can respond to you, one of the services we offer is what you call website maintenance and updates. Every year, we sign contracts with clients, even banks, name them, all kind of sort of people who want us to manage and update for them websites. And so as a developer, it is usually not a hit and learn game. Develop the project.
It's a long term.
Exactly. Develop the project, hand over to the client, train the client, but you still find, because of what you have done, the client has some trust in you. And so they will want you to extend offering the very same thing to them. And so what happens is that you sign a fresh contract with them in managing and updating.
Wow.
So if you are there, you have a website and you're wondering, what do I do with it? Number one, you need to move your website from the old technology of using Flash players and the likes to a modern look, so that your website can be accessed using mobile device. We say it becomes responsive.
We are coming to that because I'm just talking about this kind of person who is trying to look for someone who can manage it.
Someone who can manage it.
And what does it take to manage a website? Apart from, you are not a developer, but I can create content.
Okay. If you are that kind of a person who you are not a developer, but you can create content, first of all, create the content. And before you mention this, there's a place I was coming that you need to move your website from the old kind of technology that requires you to have coding skills. And now move it to a simpler thing, what you call content management system, that allows you to type the normal content that you know, wording, the normal way we type it in Microsoft Word. Maandishi ya kawaida tu. Have it, have your photos ready, then publish. Simple, precise, and clear. But now, when it comes to managing, there are a few things that you need to do. And the reason why we do managing of the website. Number one is, of course, doing backups. Because, of course, in the kind of technology we are in, hacking and those kind of scenarios are so common. So you need a backup of your website. Number two is, of course, for your own advancement. That just in case you want to move to an extra mile in future, what code can you advance in? You need that code with you so that if next year you want to add an extra thing, there's a code that you can just develop or add a feature on top. And last thing of it is, of course, now the aspect of debugging. Debugging is where you're fixing issues. You can be having a website that is slow. You need to make it be faster. You can be having a website that when people visit, it tells them your connection is not secure. Your website is missing something called SSL. So you need now to precisely, if I can answer you, you need to make your website to be in the current world, because you can be there. You are in the old technology of website.
And you still have a website.
And you have a website. It will not help you. Because today if I visit your website and it is telling me your connection is not secure. In fact, from 2020, Google has been telling people if you visit such website that hackers could be stealing information from you. So you as a client who is trying to buy something online and you are predisposing your credit card to such kind of content, you will feel like this is not what I want.
Yes, it's true.
So of course you need to embrace, as the owner of the website, embrace those tools that needs to make your website something that people can identify with and buy to your brand.
Wow. We've seen websites
Yes.
now the websites have kept on developing.
Yes.
Now websites are clearly what we call, I saw them, there's an app-like
Yes.
website.
Yes.
What would you call about this kind of improvement?
Basically what I can say, like you're saying, things have changed. Initially, there were those scenarios where people will not focus more on to how the website looks on phone. So precisely we say in IT1 that websites initially used not to be responsive.
Yes.
Responsive means a way in which the website can be accessed from a mobile device, a tablet, or a desktop. But now things have changed. And what happens is that over time, there has been increase in people who use phones to access internet.
It's true.
So now people have also moved with the technology, or rather technology has also moved with the people as well, in the manner that people are focusing more on phone users because there's a whole niche of people that needs to be tapped.
Yes.
So that is why you find websites that are looking like apps. For example, if you access Jumia website using maybe your phone, you realize it looks like an app in a certain way.
True. Yeah.
It is because they are also trying to make a user experience very easy without complication, of course to maximize on the leads.
Yeah.
So there is that technology, and like you say, the future for websites has also moved to what we call website builders. Website builders are better in one way or the other because they make you customize nearly everything. And what happens, like what you have asked, some of these things are not taught in class.
Yeah.
So maybe there's someone who is watching us there and is wondering, I didn't see this in class. What happens is that you are taught an ideal situation in class, but when you go to the cloud, basically you will not find that kind of a situation. You find customers telling you, I want my website to look like an app. So, and you're there wondering, I didn't see that in class.
In class, you are given what your fees can afford.
Exactly. In class, you are taught website has a header, body and footer.
And a footer,
But now, in reality, that will not come handy.
It will not come handy.
Yes.
Things have shifted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thank God that people have also embraced that movement. Of course, for our goal is to improve user experience and, of course, maximize on links on the website.
User experience and leads.
Exactly.
Tell me, people don't understand that the aspect of user experience because we are the users, we are the consumers of the website.
Yes.
But there's something called leads.
Yes.
What do leads do?
Leads is
because we may use a lot of language and leave people hanging.
What
is a lead and what does it do? Because you see, leads are actually one of the most important things in a website. Now,
when I was explaining, I mentioned two key things, user experience and reads. You may find sometimes being used to mean UIX. That is basically meaning user experience.
Yes.
Nobody will feel very okay to log into a website where things are just tagged all over. They are not well organized.
Yes.
You want to look for contact details, but you have to keep moving over and again just to get a contact details. Of course, that will be discouraging and nobody will wish to proceed. So user experience basically is how are things looking? Is it appealing? We call it look and feel. How things look and how do they feel. So if today I want to log in a website, I shouldn't struggle so much to know what are you doing, where are the contact information, can I reach you, where are you located, those kind of things. I don't have to struggle with them.
Yeah.
And of course, it has to be very synchronizing very easily with the device I'm using. If I'm using the mobile phone, then I should be able to access the same information, whether a desktop or a tablet or iPad. Now, you mentioned about links, and people could be wondering, what are links?
Yes.
Links is basically what translates people to buy into your brand.
Yes.
Because if I visit your website today, and probably this is Elevate TV, and I visit your website, I want to
place an ad
with Elevate TV. So when I visit your website, and I see things and just looking, they are not organized at all. I click here and ad pops and tells me sign up to this, sign up to that, sign up to that. I click that, it takes me to another website. Basically what you're doing, you are losing leads. Because when you lose leads, when I visit a website that is discouraging me, discouragement could be in terms of speed, Website that is loading slowly,
yeah.
nobody would want to commit to it. Number two, if your website is threatening me, your connection is not secure. Hackers could be finding your information online. I will not continue.
Yes.
If your website is giving me very funny information that is telling me update your Flash prayer for you to access the content, telling me it is their own technology. If I try to access your website on my phone and the menu starts from home, about us, the next one is, it is not even seen. I have to keep zooming and unzooming. You know, that website is lacking what you call responsiveness. Yeah. You end up losing links. Yes. So precisely, if you're out there and you want to make links on your website, make it appealing to the people.
Yes.
Enhance user experience. Present your information in a presentable way, because basically, people buy you as a person before they buy your brand.
It's true.
Now come to the website. People will buy your website first before they buy what you're doing. Yes, that is the point.
The leads,
The leads.
Leads are key.
They are key.
Leads are key.
They are
because
key.
Actually, you know, they are, and I saw something very interesting somewhere. There's a platform.
Yes.
Where if you're looking for something, leads. It just leads you straight to where you get all that.
Exactly.
And so it's very important. Now, we are about to go down. Our time is going down.
Yes.
And I want to ask you the big one.
Yes, you can ask.
How much does a website cost? Or what criteria do you use as a developer to cost a website?
That is the whole question stems on pricing. So what is the cost of a website? That question probably may vary from one developer to the other. However, the whole criteria may fall down into the same concept. Number one is, of course, what domain name do you want? Because different domain name have different costs. So if today you're doing a church website and you want your church to be called ABCD, but at the end you want it to read .church, that domain name, it is expensive. It is not like a .com. Yeah. If you're buying a .co.k domain, it's not the same cost like a .net or .org. So the first thing is about, of course, domain name. Yeah. So whatever you choose, most of them will range from 1,000 to 2,000. But now for specific domains, they may be a bit expensive because of the need. For example, if you're doing a cooperative website or a SACCO website and you want a .SACCO, that domain name extension is expensive. So the next step is, of course, hosting. There are different packages for hosting. They ranges from 1,500 close to unlimited value that you would wish to pick. So whatever package you pick for hosting is fine. Yeah. For ideal situation, that 500 is enough. 3,500 for a normal SME that is running a business. Yeah. The next step is, of course, designing work. Now, what dictates this is, of course, three things. Number one is, of course, the features. The features. Because you find a client saying, I want this, I want this, I want that, I want that. Or what the client is trying to tell you, incorporate the following features on my website. In class, you are taught that website has a static format. Header, body, and footer. Yes. But now you find a client telling you, I want this situation where I am able to live chat with people online. I want a situation where if people submit this, it automatically converts it to a PDF and send them an email. I want a situation when people pay, automatically it completes their order. I want a situation where people don't pay me with PayPal, instead they pay me with M-Pesa. Those kind of features, as they outline them, they dictate the cost. So, but for a static website, it ranges from $100, a static website with basic information, home, about us, contact us, our services, and a way of probably booking an appointment or something like that. Basically 10,000 above, ranging there. But for a dynamic website, then the cost is dictated, of course, by the features. Because what happens, for me to do certain features, then I have to incorporate some CMS files like plugins, which of course I may develop as a person or I procure. So basically it depends on the feature that is coming handy, then the cost is determined. The last bit of this is whenever you have a website, you need it to rank on the internet, so that if today I'm doing a website for Elevate TV, when people search on the internet, Elevate TV, they need to find it. What we call search engine optimization. So the next step is to optimize for you the website. So depending on how much, what kind of ranking do you want? There are people who say, I want to appear up there, the first one. Of course, for me to achieve that, then you have to cover, of course. So the cost goes higher. The last bit of it is, of course, incorporating the security of your website.
Yes.
Because a website should be secure. Installing for you an SSL and configuring. Precisely, to answer your question, the price differs based
Depending
on the nature
features.
of the project.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You know, you've said a lot to answer one question.
Yes, because
But I like that. The more features you want,
of course, the
more you pay for it. And I think if you're looking for quality, you have to pay for it.
Of course, cheap is expensive.
Cheap is always expensive.
Yeah. What happens? People are failing to know. And I may wish just to... They say in Kiswahili kuchanua. You know, in a way, you want to inform people to let them know where they missed the point. You find someone who you are requesting a website with a whole lot of features, and someone is telling you, I can do this for you with 5,000 shillings. What happens? They go pick themes that are cracked. You know, you should buy a theme, get the activation license, and do a website, assuming you're doing that line. But they don't do like that. They pick a cracked theme. We say it is nulled. Cracked theme, do for you a website. Whenever it is cracked, they incorporate in it some viruses, ransomware, and the likes. After some weeks after you have had your website, you visit the website, and you find website diverting into a pornographic site. You find a website displaying ants. You find a website showing some pops. You find your website is so slow. What happens is that the foundation was long. You missed the point. So that, like I say, cheap is expensive. Let us be in our mind that even in this sector for ICT websites, it is as well.
The same thing.
The same thing.
Our time is running out.
Yes.
And we need to keep building up.
Yes.
Because you see, this information
Yes.
is normally, you know, there are those things that people don't know about.
Yes.
And so what happens is that they really stumble, and some of them fall.
Yes.
And I really like about the pricing issue. You know that now is understandable. The more features I want, the more I'll pay. But I need to think about $100 first.
Yes, of course.
I have to think about $100. Tell me, Richard,
Yes.
if I wanted you to work for me and do a website for me,
Yes.
how do I contact you?
How do you... Now,
we
me
are
as a
closing
person.
down, yeah, because
Me
I
as a
need,
person.
yes, I'm talking to Richard,
That is
diplomat.
awesome. That is a good question. You
Yes.
can, by the way, we don't always charge. There are some times when you're having CSR, and you just bless people.
Do you have CSR right now?
Right now we are having, I think it's 8 projects.
It's called pro bono.
8 projects that are running for CSR. Most of them are in church arena. And so as it is now, maybe one door could be open, one window, only one.
One window.
So should there be an indicator, they can just reach out. So assuming you want to reach out to us.
So it's only one door, and you can only get it through Elevate. If you want that door to open for you, please come through Elevate. Then we'll get to Richard, who will open the door. So you have the opportunity between now and the time we close.
Yes, yes. Now for people to reach out, they can contact us using our phone number, 0733.
Say it properly.
Awesome. You can contact, well, the company is called Diplomat. Now for people who are in Kenya, the company is called Diplomat Innovative Ventures Limited. You can contact us through 0733 150 181. Those are for people in Kenya. If you are in diaspora, just visit our website. You will find there a United States number. Contact us. That communication will run to me. So precisely, you can visit our website. We have 2 websites for local market and, of course, for global market. Basically, it is diplomat.co.ke. If you are in Kenya, you can visit DIV, www.div, meaning Diplomat Innovative Ventures.co.ke. To be precise, visit only one website, diplomat.co.ke. It will take you to all kind of websites that we have.
And you can see the profiles there.
You can see the profile because we don't just learn this. We also have an online radio station. We have a place where people can, developers can sign up, sign quotations, bid quotations, do the work. We earn through commission. We have a local website, a local market, local website and also global website. And lastly, we also have a place where people who are aspiring to have mobile apps You have a website, yes.
Yes.
And you want to have a mobile app, and you are limited in finances. We have a way of converting your website into a mobile app, and then we publish for you on stores.
Wow.
Yes, so you can just visit our website, you access all that.
So the opportunity is yours. Richard has the, he has given you everything. Now, Richard.
Yes.
Do you have a parting shot? I want to think about, before you do the parting shot, I want you to think about how can we pick the websites, use the websites we have to maximize. Then you'll have our parting shot.
How can we use the website that we have?
Website, yes. Because are we maximizing?
People are not maximizing on the website. If today you have a website, ask yourself the following question. Number one, can people contact me easily with the website?
All right.
Number two, is this website making a living for me?
Wow.
For example, if today you are a blogger, people just like articles. The articles can be on recipe or could be any kind of area. If today you are a servant of God and you are doing some articles to incite people about maybe apostolic articles and the likes.
To incite.
An insight, an insight to trigger people's faith and the likes. What happens is that you can still make a living out of it.
Yes,
website.
Yes, yes.
Sign up ads with the companies that are offering ads. And they don't have to look messy. They can be just as simple as I lead. It tells me you can also access ABCD. Simple. When people click there, go ahead. Today you could be having a website and you realize people are visiting the site. Look for someone who is struggling to sell something. Give them a space, a small space on your website. Let them market their product there. The last bit of it, of course, making sure that your website is within the modern technology, because having old websites will not take you far. In fact, when people visit such platforms, personally, me involved, I don't proceed. I don't proceed because nobody will be fine to be in a very funny website. Last and not least, look for a good hosting company.
Let me ask you.
You don't want to wake up today, tomorrow your website is not there.
We are running out of time. Do you train?
A good question. For every project we do, we train the client. For people who are upcoming, we have mentorship program, which I do train people. Yeah,
because if you didn't have that, tungekosana.
No. We do train. We do train people. Every Friday I do training for people.
There's somebody here is saying,
yes.
Do you train? And another one is saying, they are trying to get the opportunity, but they are supposed to post on the, there's a way to post it. Post it nicely, my brother, on Elevate TV.
Yes.
Post it on the Elevate social media. Parting shot.
Yes. My parting shot this morning will be just simple. If today you're there, you don't have a website, you're in your own world. Whether you're doing any kind of sector, any business, any kind of sector for the business, you need to embrace online presence. Without that, then you are missing the point. You can ask yourself why the world today is having over 1.3 billion websites. Those are just numbers, but they can communicate to you that these are all venture that you are missing.
Wow. I could not add anything more. Richard has said it all. He has offered opportunities. Up to now, someone is still looking for that opportunity. Please get it. Contact Elevate. Elevate will contact Richard, and Richard will reach out to you. And then if you want to get to Richard, you have had his website, get to him. If it's mentorship, if it's training, if it's you need a website, he's willing and ready with his team to work out for you. That's all we could get today. Remember, make use of the World Wide Web by getting yourself a website. Whoever you are, whatever you do, you still need a website. That's all we had today. My name is Muiruri, and I was with Richard. God bless you, but keep it elevate.